Okay, everyone are doing good. Okay, so I think we can head to our class right now. So as everyone knows, today's topic is about Visual Studio Code. Some of you might have heard about it. Some of you might have used it. Uh, but for all of you, this will be a general class so that you can get more familiar with it. All right. So basically. So Visual Studio Code is like a platform where you can do many famous programming languages like Python. You might have heard about Python, right? So you can code Python in that. You can do C++, Java, and many other. So it's like an interpreter for many languages. Yeah. So we are going to discuss about that today. All right. So I want to know till now, where were you like coding HTML, JavaScript, all of these? Everyone knows HTML, right?
Yes,
Yes,
brother.
brother.
Uh,
Yes, brother.
so where have you been typing it, or where have you been?
Code pen.
What
Code pen.
code? Okay, CodePen. All right. So that is an online version, online interpreter. Okay, so that is also good. So now you will learn how you can do it to your computer. So how you can save it to your computer and run from your computer. So it's like a local interpreter. So some of you might have done like saving a text file to your computer, like with .htm. So you can do that too. But coding HTML in Notepad, it might seem confusing, right? So in CodePen, if you used it before, you might see that it shows with different colors, highlights with different colors. So it's easier to notice any mistakes, or it can highlight which part is which, so it's even more readable. So for that sake, we will be using VS Code. So from now on, if any new programming language that you're learning, you can do it in VS Code because it's pretty like user friendly. So you can use it in most of the cases. So that's why we are going to learn VS Code right now. Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and start installing it to our computers first. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Oh, brother.
Okay,
Not yet,
So,
brother.
yes, brother.
okay,
Yes,
good.
brother.
Yeah, so we'll get into installing it to our computers. So the first thing, uh, you can do it from Microsoft Store. Everybody knows about Microsoft Store, right? This one. But I recommend doing it from the website. If you want to do it much more easier, you can just directly go to the Microsoft Store. It will be easier, but sometimes it might not work. So that's why I suggest going to any web browser. So you can open any of your browser that you prefer. So you can use Google, you can use Microsoft Edge or any browser that you prefer, and then you type Visual Studio. So if you do that, this is the AI summary. Below that, you'll get a few websites. So the first one, code.visualstudio.com. This one is the official website of VS Code. So what you do is that just like you install any other app, you just go to the link, and then most of you, I assume that you're using Windows. So if you're using Windows, then you click download for Windows. And then now if you wait, a pop-up screen will come. So this is just asking me where I should store this file. So I have already installed it, as you can see. So if you haven't installed it, then just click save over here. The top right, the bottom right here, you can see the save button. You click save, then it will start installing. So I click save, As you can see, it's starting to install. But for now, I'm going to cancel it because I've already installed it. So now what you do is that you go to your file explorer, so where you have installed it. So as you can see, I have uh, the Visual Studio setup here. So all I do is that I just open it. So if I open it, I'll be met with this screen. So this one is a wizard. It's usually called a wizard. If you install any app from the website, you'll see this. So all you have to do is that in the first screen, you can see a lot of things. You don't have to read all these. So you can go to I accept the agreement and click on that. And then just click next for every other option. If you keep clicking next, then finally you'll come to this page and you can just click install. So if I click install here, as you can see, it's preparing to install and this might take a while to install. So I had Visual Studio Code before, but I just uninstalled it so that I can show it again. So this might take a while for it to get installed. Yeah. So basically, uh, you can do it just right off the bat. Like you can open Visual Studio Code, you can create a new file, and then you can start coding HTML. But I'll be explaining to you a few extensions. Does anyone know what extensions are? You might have heard it somewhere, right? When you're using Google, you might have heard extensions. Has anyone heard it?
No, brother.
Okay, so no one has heard it. Okay, so extensions is like you already have this application, you already have the browser. So to add some extra things to make it better or to make it easier to use. So that is called extensions. So for HTML, extensions is not compulsory, but it's recommended. All right. Most of the time, without a few extensions, it will be difficult to use it. So that's why we are going to start using extensions in Visual Studio Code. So yeah, it's almost done, and you will be met with the next pop-up screen if you wait for a while. So you will be also taken through the same steps, almost similar. HTML is pretty basic, so you like it's actually using extensions is not compulsory. But if you are coding Python or anything, you might need extensions. That we'll get to it later. So after it's done, you'll be met with this window here. So let this be like that and just click finish. And once that's done, now the Visual Studio Code is automatically open. All right. So now the installation part is done. Now we come to the main Visual Studio part. So it is good. Like you might see a lot of buttons here, lot of interface here, but it's pretty easy. All right. It's not that difficult or anything. It's just a basic place where you can run your folder. Think of it like a second file manager, but it is dedicated to coding. So you might be seeing this the first time you open it, but this might be a bit different because I already created a folder, or else it might say something like open folder, which I guess uh, if I have it, yeah, it might look like this, no folder open. So if you click on open folder, you can like select any folder for you to save it in. But for now, I'll go the basic way. Uh, so the thing is that you are going to save all your files in your computer. So in CodePen, we're saving it on the website itself, right? So it will be saved on the website, on the cloud. And even if you have used Colab, Google Colab, if anyone of you have used it, then you might notice that it is also saving it in your Google Drive. So Visual Studio Code, you can save it in your system itself. It will be much more faster. So the first thing that is recommended to do is that you can create a folder somewhere. So right now, uh, take any place in your file explorer. So imagine so open your file explorer. So you can go to desktop or anywhere, or you can do it over here in your desktop. So what you do is that you right click and you click on new and you click on folder. So all you do is that you create a new folder anywhere in your computer. So you can name it anything, like for now I'll name it as HTML. So now this is the file where all the codes, all the files will be stored in. This is the folder. All right. So now what I want to do is that I want to link this Visual Studio Code to this file. So how do I do that? So now you open Visual Studio Code and you see this basic ribbon on top. So it has basic things like file, edit, selections. You've seen it in many places, right? Like in Notepad, MS Office. In the same way, you have this and you click on file. And once you click on file, you'll have a whole lot of options. Now, the one that you need is open folder. So what we are doing here is that we are linking that folder to VS Code. So I want to open that folder. And if I click on that, you'll get a place to locate your folder. So you know where I stored it, right? I stored it on desktop. So I go to desktop and here I find HTML. So now if I click on that, the folder is empty because I didn't add anything to that. So once you located your file, all you do is that you click select folder here. And that means that folder, you can click yes, I trust the authors. And yeah, so that is all for file linking. So here, as you can see, HTML is linked here. So whatever you save here will be saved in this file in your computer. Okay, so how do you create a new file? You can either go into this file, but it's not recommended. The best way to do it is that here, as you can see, this is the folder. All right. You can see editors, HTML, this is the file name, and outline and timeline. So whatever file name you have given, it will pop up here. So now all you do is that there will be a huge empty space inside. That means it's empty. So what you do is that you will see a few options beside this HTML. There's option to create new folder, new file, and all these. So all you have to do is like create a new file. Once you do that, this will pop up. So you have to give a name for the new file that you just created. Let's just say we name it as HTML1. One. And you know that if you have worked with offline editing, like if you have worked with Notepad, if you are saving a HTML file, what you do is that after you type the name of your HTML file, you add a dot HTM or HTML to it. So right now I'm going to add dot HTML. So this is the extension. So this part is important. So the rest of it, you can give any name you want. But this part, you type dot HTML at the end. So that will make it a HTML file. So you can close this welcome one, it's not needed. So as you can see here, you can type all your HTML files here. But in the same way, you can add it for JavaScript and for CSS. All right. So this is like the basics of how you can add HTML file. But I'd like to show you a few extensions. All right. I haven't explained much of the interface here, but much of it is not needed. So this one, the chat part, it is also not needed. So you can just close it. So basically, this big part is where you code, and this is the file part. So you can create new files, you can edit your files, and everything. All of these are going inside this HTML file. So if I go back here, and if I open this file, as you can see, the HTML1 is created. All right. So as you can see, that's how it works. So these both are linked. So now you can keep on creating new files. So let's say style.css. So if you're creating a CSS file, then you have to add a .css in the end. So you can give any name. There's no restriction to the name. But the most important thing here is that you have to add the extension. If it's a HTML file, you have to add .html. If it's a CSS file, then you have to add .css. So this is a CSS file. So if I add Java dot so .js is for JavaScript. So it's a short form for JavaScript. So if you're creating a JavaScript file, just add .js. So as you can see, we have your three files: the first HTML file, the JavaScript file, and the CSS file. Okay, so this is the basic way of creating the file. You can add all these code or whatever you're going to learn or have learned. So this is how you do it in a basic way. So I'd like to say a few uh, extensions. So I told you before, extensions can make coding easier. Just like in your browsers, if you use extensions, there are many things like changing your cursor, and there are many extensions in Google. So in the same way, we'll go with extensions in VS Code. So as you can see in the leftmost part, there's a small place here, this one, and currently we are on Explorer part. So here we have all the files. So that is the Explorer part. So where you go is that on the last one, you see something called extensions. All right. So this is what you want. So the rest of the things you can learn it on the way. But for now, to get started, this is important. Now I click on extensions. So I'll tell you a few extensions that you might uh, need while you're coding. So I have listed it out here. So as you can see, I listed a few here. So you can take a look at this. If you want, I'll send it in chat. You can do it after the class. So I'll send it in chat. The main ones that you need are live server and prettier. These are the names of the extensions, and ESLint and JavaScript ECX code snippets. So these are the main ones that you might need while you're uh, using HTML and VS Code. So yeah, I'll send it in chat again. So the four ones, these are the important ones that you need. All right. So what we'll do is that I'll tell you how to install these extensions. So right now I'm in the extensions part, as you can see here, the one in the most bottommost part. So first thing is live server. So if you just type it in the search bar, so it will show a lot of results. So the first one, this one is the one that is needed. So I've already installed this, so that's why it's not showing anything. So we'll go to the next one, that is Prettier. Yeah, so just type Prettier in the search bar. So the first one that comes, so you'll see this, and you have to click install here, and you can click on the blue button, and it will start installing it. As you can see, it's installed. Once it's installed, it will show disable and install. You don't want to do anything in that, but that just means that it is installed. And the next thing is ES lint. So I installed that too. And also JavaScript. Yeah, this one. Code snippets. And you install that too. So these four are the like basic uh, extensions. So if you don't want to install all these, I will recommend installing live server first because that is the most important. I'll show you why we need live server and the uses for other extensions. I also sent it in the chat, automatic code formatting and all these stuff. But that's also just install it and now go back to the Explorer. All right. So now you have these files that you've created here. And now you can close that part and you have these three files. So you know how you work with in different websites, right? In Brave or browser. I use Brave browser. You use Google. You know how we use different tabs. So each of it has a different tab, so you can switch between each. So in the same way, in VS Code, you can switch between the codes easily. So this one is the HTML, this one is the CSS and JavaScript and so on. So there are reason for the snippets. As you can see, now it automatically fills when I write it. So HTML, you can see there's a lot of embeds or these are like shortcuts. So you can use those and it might be helpful while you're coding. And as you can see, it comes in different colors. So it is easier to read. So that's how you like use VS for HTML style, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we have only like brushed the part where we install and get used to it, but we haven't run any codes in it. So I'll tell you how to run a code. So I've got an example code here. So I'll just copy paste it so that I don't take up too much time. So yeah, you have to type each of these uh, codes separately. So HTML is for HTML. So this whole part is HTML. And for JavaScript, I mean the CSS, I'll just copy the CSS part. So that's the CSS part and the JavaScript one too. So one thing you might have noticed is that you'll have this screen in the right top part. So this is like a small screen preview showing how big the code is. So let me just add this. Yeah. So it shows the full code. So you can scroll here or using the scroll bar. And yeah. So also if there are any errors, say I didn't add this part, as you can see, it's showing red in few places. As you can see, there's a red mark over here. So that is showing that there's some kind of error there. So you can go over there and then as you can see, it's highlighted in red. So these color codings, it might be really useful. So you won't get this in while you're doing it in Notepad. So that's why we are doing it here. That's how all of these works. So how do you run a uh, specific code? So as you can see, I finished all this code. So how do I run it? So if I go to the top right side, you can see there are three options here. Over here, three options. So the one that you need is the play button. So that is the run code. If I click that, so for this thing, it's saying code language is not supported or defined. The reason is that this is for web browsers. So if you are using Python or any other languages, if you click here, the result will be shown over here in below. It will show as output. But right now, we are doing it like in the website, right? It's a web browser. So I'll show you how to open it in the web browser. So now you created three different files, but how do you link those files? So I hope that you know how to use Python. I mean, not Python, the HTML before. Have you used HTML before?
Yes, brother.
Brother.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Yes,
have
brother.
brother.
you
Yes, brother.
have
Yes,
you ever
brother.
linked two files?
Brother.
So you have done it in CodePen. Have you ever tried it in Notepad?
Yes, brother. In school.
Okay, in school you have done it. So in school, have you learned about CSS?
Yes, brother.
Yeah. So how do you link it? Link HTML and CSS? Can anyone
Dot
tell?
HTML.
Dot HTML. Where will I do that?
Yes, brother.
Okay. So in a simple way, we use the link. Link tag. So if you look over to the seventh line, as you can see, we have a line counter, which is pretty useful. So in the seventh line, as you can see, I have used the link tag. All right. So here I can give it a style sheet, but the important part is href, href, and this one is the name of the file. So whatever name I have given here, right now I have given style for this CSS file. So if I rename it, I guess we don't have it. We have the rename option. If I have something like style underscore one, so what I do is that here I change it to style underscore one. So that's how you refer to a file. The same way over this line, as you can see, there is a JavaScript reference. So CSS reference, if you have learned it in your school, you might know this. But for those who don't know, this is how you refer a CSS file, and you have to do it inside the head block. So as you can see, this is the head part. So inside this head block, you have this link. You do this link and you type REL and you can give it a name, something like style sheet and HREF. So after HREF, you have to give the file name. So the file name is very important. Don't make sure to not mistake, make a mistake in the file name, or else it won't read the file. And for adding JavaScript, you must add it in the body of the HTML code. So in the HTML code, you add a new block called script. So you add the script tag, and inside the script tag, the opening tag, you just type source is the file name. So here I have given the file name as JavaScript. So what I do is that I just type JavaScript. So now it will refer to that file, JavaScript. So now that the references are done, so now the thing is that these three files are linked. So any doubt in that?
No, brother.
No, brother.
Okay.
No,
So now,
brother. No, brother. There is no doubt.
okay, no doubts. Cool. So now we went to the we are going to the final part. Since we linked all these three files, next thing we do is run it. So as you can see, this run button is not working. So that is why we needed an extension. So remember the extension where I said uh, live, what is that? Live server.
Yes, brother, you told it is important.
Yeah, it's important, right? So I'll tell you why it's important. So if you installed all the extensions, it will come here. See, as you can see, the install part, it will show all the extensions that are installed. So the live server is also installed here. So I'll show you why it's important. So now how will I run it? So I can't run it here, right? HTML is for websites. So I need to open it in a website. So I can't go to file manager and do it. That will be a bit difficult. I mean, it might be time consuming. How do you do it easily? So the first thing and the important thing you have to follow in run. We can't do that. That's the same thing as using this. So this one does the same and start debugging. I mean that's for debugging. And this one also will do the same. We can't run here. Those are the options for run. We can't do that here. So the most important thing that you must keep in mind while using VS Code is that this is like a normal file. So if you are using MS Word, text file, or any file like that, so you type a lot of text, will you close it just like that? You typed a lot of code and a lot of lines, a lot of text, and will you close it just like that? You'll do something before that, right? Can anyone tell what that is? Before
Save.
closing, yeah, right? We have to save. So that is really important, or else the code
Yes,
won't work. So
we'll
for
save the file.
yeah,
What we
exactly. You'll save the file. So you can do it. You can go to file and click save, or you can just click Control S. So right now in my keyboard, I'm pressing Control plus S. So that is saved. And again, I can save this one also. So now these three files are saved. All right. If you didn't save the file, it will show here that file not saved. If I just create a new file, tml.tl. So I type something. So as you can see, it is saying one unsaved file here. So that this is the unsaved file. So I just took it for an example. So yeah, so you have to save the files first. Now, how will you run it? So you tried this, it's not working. You tried this, it's not working. So as I said, live server was important, right? So that is because how will you run it is that you go to the main HTML file. So you linked all the CSS and the JavaScript file here, right? So this is the main HTML file. You coded all the HTML. The CSS you didn't link anything. In JavaScript also you didn't link anything. In the main HTML file you link all the what do you say? Linked all your other files. As you can see, I've linked the CSS file here and the JavaScript file here. So this is the important file that you have to open. So what you do is that the HTML file is the main one, right? So in the main file, I right click. And if I right click, I will see this new option called Open with Live Server. So if you didn't install the extension called Live Server, this won't be there. So all you do is that you click on that. And now if you wait, you just click Allow. And if you wait for a while, as you can see, yeah, we finally got our file. So this is our HTML file. And you can type anything. Let's say this is a paragraph inside. So this is the text, right? So what all I do is that I'll add some exclamation marks. So I'll tell you how to run it. So the basic idea is that so if you click once more, I'll repeat it. Go to the main file, right click and click open with live server. So it'll open any of your browser that you're using. So it currently opened Edge. So it opened it there. So this one is not a public website. It's just a website that only you can see. So these are the things that I typed in here. So all these uh, things are the CSS things. I mean, the blue box. These are done by CSS. These input box and buttons are done by JavaScript, and the basic text are done by HTML. So as you can see, all these linked files, finally, we can see it in one place. And this is the output screen that you will see. So this every time from now on, this is how you'll work on your HTML file. So first of all, I'll make a small change. Let's say this here is in tab, and I'll add a new paragraph. So what I do is that, so as you can see, if you open a tag, it will automatically close it for you. So that's why it's much more easier to code in this. So let's say this is a heading tag. So for the heading, I'll add, let's say H3. If I close it, it will automatically, if I open it, it will automatically close it also. So heading tag. Now I've typed this, and if I go back to this website and if I reload it, I still didn't see it. Why do you think I still didn't see it? I still can't see it. Why do you think so? Why do you think that is like that?
Brother, first we should save the file to make
Yes,
something.
exactly. So I hope everyone got it. As I said it before, saving the file is very important. So all you have to do is that you save it. You know how to save it, right? Control S. So if I save it now and I go back to the this part, and as you can see, it automatically added here. It's a live uh, preview of your output. So that's how you code HTML in Visual Studio Code with the output. So once more, you go to your website. This is a small recap, all right? You go to your website, type VS Code, install it, install the setup. Then if you click on it, then once again, you will go through the wizard. Just keep on clicking next and then click install. Then it will take some time and it will install and this will be opened. You go to your file manager, you create a new folder anywhere. You can create it in your desktop also. And once you create that, you link it to your VS Code. That is by clicking file and open folder and you locate that folder, then you link it. Then you click here to create a new file. Then you create three files. If you are doing all three, then you can create three files or any number of files that you want. So you start coding like this. And if you want to make it much more easier, the important one is live server to see the output and any other like Prettier, JavaScript, code snippets and ESLint, you can add it if you want so that it will make future coding much more easier. So that's it for HTML coding in Visual Studio Code. Okay. So I hope everyone understood it. So is there any doubts? If you have
No,
any doubts,
brother.
you can.
No, brother.
No, brother.
No, brother.
No, brother.
No doubts. Okay, cool. All right. So over to Priyam.
Okay, you can stop recording.